This is a very fun movie, but things don't make sense.
Is there a sense then, in your own mind, that you don't own Potter anymore? It's owned by the fan base.
I wouldn't go that far, Will.
What's up, everyone?
Hey, guys!
Usually I say it's been a minute, but this time I feel like it's been like 2 minutes.
It has
because
been.
we haven't done a review in forever.
I know, it's been too long. It's probably since... It was before spoilers.
Oh my god, that long?
Yeah. Because I went straight to Call of the Wild.
Yeah.
So it's been since September, I think, at least.
Good lord.
Too long.
We've
Sorry,
been
guys.
working a lot, enjoying the holidays with our friends and family, putting out a short film. We've been all over the place, but now we are back at the Movie Blah Blah studio, filming a new review. I saw the latest Harry Potter movie, and I was like, we're clearing out our schedules. I will kidnap Daria and drive her to the theater. We have to review this.
I literally went and bought the movie just so the first one, because I hadn't seen the first one, so I bought it just because Jordan's like, Daria, we need to do a review on this. So I was like, okay, and I literally watched the movie, rushed to the movie theater, rushed back so we could film this, and then I have to rush somewhere right after just so we can get this review to you.
Boom. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So before we do the review, I feel like we need to give our viewers some context about our relationship with Harry Potter. So I've been reading Harry Potter since Miss Nat Camper's first grade class, gone to the midnight book releases, midnight movie releases, played the video games, gone to Harry Potter World all the time at Universal. I love Harry Potter, diehard fan. What about you?
Same, of course. I mean, I never read the books because I wasn't much of a reader growing up. I mean, I bought the books because I just loved Harry Potter so much, I just never got to read them.
They look good on your shelf.
Yeah. But I love watching the films. I actually cannot watch all the films back to back because I've done that. I've had marathons. The last time I did it was a couple years ago, and I got so depressed that I didn't get my letter to Hogwarts. I was like, I can't do this again. So I will only watch one movie at a time. Like, I cannot watch them all as a marathon.
For sure.
I'm honestly surprised that I haven't seen the Fantastic Beasts movies until now.
Awesome. Now the time, we don't know what each other's thoughts are on these movies. We haven't talked about them.
We haven't.
Until now, Daria, what is your review of these Fantastic Beasts movies, specifically this new one?
Well, as I was watching the first one earlier, I was like, I wasn't too big a fan. And watching the second one, I've heard a lot of mixed reviews from people, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I thought it was better than the first Fantastic Beasts movie. I've heard this getting a lot of hate because of Johnny Depp, but I thought he was great. I'm glad he is not playing a pirate. Yeah, I thought he was great. I did find a few things that I was not a fan of. Sometimes the scenes would cut abruptly. Like, I felt like the scene wasn't over, and it would just cut to something completely different, and I was like, whoa, it was kind of jarring.
Right.
I noticed there was a lot of breathing in the lenses that they had chosen, so when they rack focus, it was like, you can tell a lot. I noticed. I don't know if it was just because I was watching it in IMAX, but it was like weird. It kind of took me out of the movie. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. It kept me engaged the entire time. Yeah, what did you think? Nice.
Well, so I watched the first Fantastic Beasts in theater, diehard fan, and I did not like it. For up until this new one, I was like, not care in the world. And I rewatched it recently, and I was like, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Like, I really liked it.
So I went to watch a second time.
Yeah. It grew on me. And so I went to this new one, pretty hyped, and I really, really enjoyed it. I kind of actually loved this movie, despite all its head-scratching, I don't want to say problems. They're problems.
There are problems.
They're problems. This is a very fascinating movie. For the great parts, I think it's, very funny, very, thrilling, I think it has a good pace. I think the beasts are adorable. The Niffler, the Bowtruckle, those things, the little green guy in his like
Oh, I
pocket.
love him
He's so
much.
adorable.
I was so sad when he was giving him up.
I know.
And I was like, no.
I know. And like the Niffler gets hurt at one point, and you know, I was like, oh my
yeah.
god, if they kill this Niffler, I'm going to be so mad.
I know, I thought about that. I was like, wait, where is he at? He like jumped out of the pocket, and then like everyone, there was fire, and I was like, did they leave him behind? And then he shows up and he's hurt, and I was like, oh, thank God. Ugh.
Yeah, I love those creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And Newt has grown on me. I think for some people it's hard to relate to him because he's, you know, J.K. Rowling said he's on the spectrum, and so I could tell.
I
think that can, you know, it's hard to relate sometimes because he says things that are like, you know, frustrating, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, and he like never looks you in the eye, he's always kind of looking at your shoulder.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've grown to really love Newt. I love his romantic relationship with Lita. Lita Lestrange. Not so much Tina, even though there's that one scene where he talks about her salamander eyes.
Oh, yeah, the salamander eye, and what's his face was like, don't tell her that.
Don't tell her that. And then it gets, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
I was hoping that he'd be with Lita.
I do too.
But, yeah, so the romantic relationships were kind of...
That whole love triangle feels very bizarre, because I don't know why Lita just doesn't go for Newt.
Exactly. You could tell they love each other.
Those awkwardly intimate close-ups of them staring into each other's eyes, it's like they love each other.
Yeah,
why are
and
they
that's
not together?
Right, and that's the only time he like actually looks at someone in the eyes.
Like that was a conscious effort to show that. So some people at the end, there's a point where Lita looks at Newt and his brother, and she's like, "I love you," and the audience. I bet some people would be like, "Who is she talking to?" And it's like, to me, it's obviously Newt.
Yeah, it was totally to Newt.
Yeah. So
I was frustrated with that love triangle.
I love that. I love Depp as Grindelwald. I think they had a missed opportunity to make him even more evil. You know, the scene with the baby.
Instead of having him...
there's a scene where Grindelwald comically has a stare down with a little baby.
Yeah.
And he walks out of the room and his lackey kills the baby. And I think Depp should have been the one, but it's whatever. I really like Depp, and I think Grindelwald is actually more, I don't want to say relatable, but he makes better points than Voldemort.
Yeah.
Because there's a scene where Grindelwald shows, he, like, vapes, and, like, this image of World War II comes out, as it usually does whenever I vape, too. And he's like, you know, if we keep these muggles, you know, controlling the world or whatever, this
is what's gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
Which is kind of true.
Yeah. So we should, like, you know, us wizards should, you know, go in and say, yo, stop doing this. And if I was in that room,
I would have totally followed Grindelwald.
Yeah, I'd be like, this pale, handsome dude,
makes some sense.
He makes some points.
Yeah.
So he actually has some better points than Voldemort. He was just like, kill everyone.
Yeah.
They seem to have shit under control.
Yeah, they do.
I love Depp as Grindelwald. I think a lot of people think there's pacing issues with this movie, and it does kind of feel like there's a lot of storylines coming in at once.
Yeah.
Characters aren't getting... There's things that are set up and aren't paid off. And if you just look at the poster, there's like 50 people on the poster, and it's like, how are we supposed to care about everyone?
Yeah, there are like so many main characters. Like, you got Grindelwald, you got Newt, you got, what's his name, who doesn't know who he is.
Jacob, Queenie, Lita, like, so many people.
The muggle that joins along, which I loved him. He was funny.
He's great. He's great, yeah. He's one of the best parts of the movie, because he's like, we're seeing the magic through his eyes, and he's like, you know, adorable, you know, funny.
Yeah, I did have a problem with the circus.
Yeah.
I was like, what? So you go into the wizarding world, and then there's like a circus of magic people being held captive. Like, I didn't understand why that was allowed and why that was a thing.
Yeah, well, here we get into the problems of the movie, where the logic of things don't make sense, because in the wizarding world, there's so many cool magical things. And literally one of the things that is like commonplace to people is like animagus, someone who can like change into an animal like that. Mm-hmm. So why is this woman who can turn into a snake, why is she like a cool circus event when people are literally doing that everywhere, seemingly? And so that doesn't make sense.
And the guy who owns their circus, he's like, they think they can leave me, my freaks or whatever he called them, and then he just like packed up everything and like, he's like, well, we ruined things in Paris, we gotta go somewhere else. And I'm just like, I don't understand what this scene was and like what is happening.
This is a very fun movie, but things don't make sense. So McGonagall shows up.
Oh, I love that her voice was the same.
McGonagall, here's the thing. McGonagall is one of my favorite parts of the movie. The funniest, the voice was on cue, I was laughing the entire time. But then I thought, in this year, 1927 or whatever, Professor McGonagall is age -8. She isn't born yet, but yet she is in the movie. And the people are like, well, maybe it's her mom. Well, it's like, well, McGonagall is her maiden name. So, I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Because I was thinking about that, because isn't Dumbledore like a couple 100 years old in the Harry Potter movies?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, he was
We'll fact check this and have his age at the bottom of the screen.
Okay. And the years in the 20s, so that was like...
I can't remember. All I know is he's sexy Dumbledore now, buff, cool beard, and then within like 10 years, he's like old looking.
Yeah.
There's a great picture going alongside of like him and Half-Blood Prince in a flashback where he's like old Michael Gambon, and like just 10 years earlier, he's like sexy Jude Law, buff, and you know.
Oh, that's so true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so that doesn't make sense. So Nagini, the woman who turns into a snake, she's the snake, Voldemort's pet snake, who like gets her head chopped off by Neville.
Interesting.
And I don't know, J.K. Rowling said on Twitter that it's been her plan this whole time that Nagini was like a human that turns into a snake. But I don't buy it.
I don't know. I don't think... Because why would Nagini go from going against Grindelwald, who's making these good points, and then end up joining Voldemort, like, and being Voldemort's pet snake? Like, it just
that makes no sense. I hope we get more movies, because I want to see her character arc, because I don't understand either. I have a friend, she told me she thinks Nagini, when she turns into a snake, Voldemort is the only person like she can talk to because he does parcel tongue. And so maybe she just wants a friend, but like... I don't care. I don't want to befriend a Nazi if that's the only person I can talk to. I'd rather just like go on and have my own snake adventures.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Can we get into spoilers?
Spoiler alert!
Spoiling it. So at the end, the whole mystery of the movie is who is Ezra Miller's character Credence.
Yeah.
Who is every one of the 50 main characters is asking who's Credence. And at the end we find out Credence is a brother of Dumbledore who we've never heard of before.
Yeah. I was confused. I was like, wait, did you just say Dumbledore?
Yeah, so my theory is Grindelwald is lying to get Credence to hate Dumbledore.
Oh.
But that still doesn't feel satisfying, because it feels like you're slipping the rug under a lot of people. And I don't know, it just doesn't...
Because that is like the very end of the movie where you find out, and I feel like you can't lie about who he is. You can't just like, in the next movie be like, just kidding, that was a lie. You can't like end a movie like that.
Yeah.
You have to end it with a piece of like a fact that everyone's been looking for throughout the entire movie.
Exactly.
So I was like, yeah, when he said Dumbledore, I was like, wait, did he have a son? But he had a gay relationship with Grindelwald, so...
Right. And it's like, I feel like J.K. Rowling or the filmmakers were hoping for, like, at the end, people would be like, but in my theater, literally, I heard people whispering, like, did they say Dumbledore? No, it can't be. That doesn't make sense. Like, no. And,
yeah, I was like, wait, what? So, yeah, I'm hoping for another movie, too, so it kind of explains that, because that isn't a satisfying ending to me.
It's not. It definitely feels like the middle movie.
Yeah.
Like, the first one has, like, a beginning, middle, end, and, like, no other movies are made. Boom. That's good. This one definitely feels like we have to wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when J.K. Rowling finished her books, her original books, she kind of said, like, never say never, but I'm pretty much done with Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, I admired the restraint, you know? Like, she doesn't leave us wanting more. Oh, man, that's admirable. But then she dipped back in Fantastic Beasts. And I was like,
I was like, not
and
that great.
then she did the Cursed Child play. So I've come to this point where it's like, J.K. Rowling's obviously a master storyteller, but everything she's done post the books have been very questionable. Have you heard about, in the Cursed Child play, the Trolley Witch?
No.
So do you remember in the movies, she's like pops up 2 times. She's on the Hogwarts Express and she has her little snacks and she goes, anything from the trolley, dears?
Oh, yes.
So in this Broadway play, J.K. Rowling confirms and has a scene where the Trolley Witch, Harry and Draco's son, try to escape the train, right? Mm-hmm. To do shenanigans. And they get on top of the train and the Trolley Witch comes up on the train. And they're like, what? And then her hands turn into, like, blades. And she this is f***ing true. Her hands turn into blades. She's like, I've been guarding this train for 200 years. And she has her trolley cart with her, and she takes pumpkin pasties and starts throwing them at Harry and Draco's son, and they're grenades, and they start blowing up.
What?
So this adorable little old lady has blades for hands and throws grenades.
That sounds like what's that one movie that Harry did? The Swiss Army Man?
Yeah.
This is what it sounds like.
That is batshit crazy.
Not your best work.
It's very questionable. She confirmed on Twitter that the Cursed Child is canon, so, like, it, for real, the Trolley Lady, you can't just pretend like, oh, this is fan fiction, even though it reads and feels like it. The Trolley Lady has blades for hands.
The guy who took Newt's job, he's like, I came in and do what you couldn't do. And he's like, I'm guessing the job is mine now. And he was awful, and you could tell everyone hated him. And then he was sided with Grindelwald, but then he kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
So
A lot of characters, that guy just kind of disappeared. I think I'm hoping for, I doubt it exists, I'm hoping for like a Peter Jackson extended cut Lord of the Rings edition where it's like, there's a 4-hour cut of this somewhere where shit makes sense. Despite, I think those original 7 novels those are perfect.
yeah.
Everything else is icing on the cake. J.K. Rowling has like made my childhood in my life. So it's like, her heart is in the right place. She could live in a mansion of Citizens Kane style riches and give all to everyone, but she's trying her best to entertain us, and it just doesn't make sense. It's not working, and I appreciate her efforts.
I knew how much expectation there would be, and I didn't want to let fans down.
It's like when your cousin shows like a little drawing they made of like a rabbit.
Oh yeah,
and
it's
it just
awful.
looks like there's a rabbit in there somewhere, but it's like kind of just mostly scribbles. I kind of really love this movie, but it's more out of like morbid fascination of like, you know, I can't believe this thing exists, and like I wanted to write the next one because it's like, what the fuck else is she gonna do?
Yeah.
So it's like, this is just a very interesting movie to study, just as a work, because I've never seen an author just kind of like a snake, like come back around and just like eat themselves into the backtrack from master storytelling to just like,
Yeah. And I kind of want to see Dumbledore and Grindelwald have like, not a showdown, but like, you could tell they love each other still. And I, like, when Newt gave him back his little thing, the pin that Grindelwald was wearing.
Yeah, their little oath. Whatever, the unbreakable oath.
Yeah, and he's like, Newt asks him, oh, do you think you can break this? I kind of saw in Dumbledore's eyes, like, break it? What do you mean? Like, I don't...
Yeah.
Like he didn't want to break it, he just wanted to keep it, and he's like, okay, this is mine now. This is my memory of when we were in love, and...
Yeah.
So I kind of don't want him to break it, and just...
I want to get flashbacks of Dumbledore and Grindelwald. Like, there was a brief one, but like more developed flashbacks of their relationship. There's one point in the movie where the like American like ministry guy is talking to Dumbledore, and he's like, "You know this guy, Grindelwald guy, right?" And he's like, "Yes, we're more than." He's like, "You guys are like brothers, I hear." And he's like, "We're more than brothers." And Dumbledore kind of looks off into the distance, and there's like this pause. And I have expected the ministry guy just to lean in and be like, "You gay, bro?" So I know a lot of people were mad that Grindelwald and Dumbledore weren't having, like, they weren't explicitly showing the relationship.
Yeah. It was just like that little handhold.
Yeah. The reason I'm not mad is because I feel like down the road we're going to get it. This movie had so much going on.
Yeah.
I think a Dumbledore Grindelwald, scene would have been, too much.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
I think at some point we're going to get that hardcore make-out scene the fans have been dying for.
I
Between
hope so.
white pasty Johnny Depp and sexy buff Jude Law. The fans are demanding it. What did you think about Queenie, her decision to go to Grindelwald?
I mean, I understand she wanted to go to Grindelwald so she could be with the guy she loved, the Muggle, but he wasn't going with her.
No.
So that kind of goes against her decision. But I guess maybe she's thinking eventually she'll be able to be with him.
That I had a hard time wrestling with this too, but that's the conclusion I came to. Like, in the long run, after they keep the Muggles, in order, she's going to be like, "See, Jacob, we're in love."
Yeah.
I completely understand Grindelwald's motivation to get her, because he needs someone to read Credence's mind.
Oh.
Because at the end, she's like, "You need to be gentle with him."
Oh, yeah.
I just wish there was a scene, because I feel like a lot of people, because I was confused too, I didn't realize that until later. I wish there was a scene where someone was like, "Why do you need this childlike girl?" And he would, Depp would just be like, "Need her to read minds." Like, They'd come up with a better line on the day, but something, just to let the audience know, be like, "Oh," because...
Yeah, or like have her read his mind, like, because you can hear the thoughts of Newt when she's reading his mind, and she kind of replies to them, so I kind of wished she would read his mind and then tell him you need to be gentle with him. Because I was like, wait, how does she know him so well?
I love the idea.
JK, if you need ideas, we got you. As always, thank you guys for watching. We're finally back.
We'll be back!
We won't go another 2 months without making a movie blah blah.
Unless J.K. Rowling calls us to write the new Harry Potter movie.
That's true. Then sorry, guys.
Sorry.
But yeah, thanks for watching. Comment below. What did you think of this film? Follow us on Instagram for written reviews. I'll see you next time.
See you next year, everyone! Bye!